No, man, as I watched that interview there, and
All right. We live.
okay,
What's
okay.
good? What's good? What's good? My bad, fella. My bad. What's good? All right, let me see who up in here. For those of you who've been in here waiting, apologize for the tardiness.
We have some
Sometimes,
technical difficulties.
yeah, sometimes shit happens. It is what it is.
Facts.
So thank you for your patience. Appreciate that. Real quick, Unique 79, moderator extraordinaire, was good with you, fam. If anyone else watching that ain't, hopped into the live chat yet, salute to you. Before we get into this, if all you gentlemen can go ahead and plug whatever you want to plug, so that way I can set shit up on the back end.
Right. I'll go first. So guys, make sure you go to the masculineidentitymembership.com, masculineidentitymembership.com, where you'll get exclusive content, videos about manhood, about identity, about how to see yourself, about being grateful, how to visualize your future, how to get to your next level. All these things, concerning game, inner game, understanding who you are and understanding what you want and how to get it. All right. So that's masculineidentitymembership.com. And then also check out badboymembership.com. Go to badboymembership.com where you get 45 to 90-minute videos on best practices for dating, for online dating, texting, confidence, how to approach, how to conduct yourself on a date, all that type of stuff, man. So make sure you go to masculineidentitymembership.com and badboymembership.com. Appreciate y'all.
All right. Yeah, this is Mr. Justin. It's awesome to be back here once again. If anybody wants to check out what I'm doing, what I'm about, just go on Instagram. It's Mr. Justin_X. And I focus primarily on relationship stuff and setting up polarity within your relationship, so you're no longer having this roommate that you're almost sometimes having sex with maybe once a month.
That's crazy.
Once a month.
That's crazy.
This is Jay Roman. Like always, appreciate Zach you having me here. Always enjoy the conversation with Miles and Justin here. And I'll be plugging myself pretty soon. Trying to put together some stuff.
Nice.
But always go to that Silverback lifestyle. Me and my cousin, we've been rocking together for a long time. So I always plug that. And of course, pure enjoyment of the show on Sunday. Real game, no theory show. It's just entertainment for me. I enjoy that show so much. But that's about it. Happy to be here.
All right.
So let me do this before we get knee deep off into this. Zulu Hunk was good. Carlos Davila Jr., Kaysen, I'm not going to try to pronounce your last name. You know who you are. Benito de Perez, Victor, Art, Quizlo, Speaks was good with you, fam. Big Daddy, Big Daddy, pause. Hell no. I'm just going to call you BD. All that shit that sounds fucked up. Certified Tyrone was good with you. So why?
Delicious.
Right. Chris Demetrius from the Lou was good with you, fam. So real quick before we get into this is what I want to do. This is important. So we got to make sure we do this. So give me just a second while I set this up, fellas. And real quick, for those of you who are not subbed to either one of these men's YouTube channels, or you're not fucking with them on Instagram, go ahead and get on that.
Yes, sir.
Now let me go ahead and do this right quick because this is important. We got to do this. So give me a moment here. Give me a motherfucking moment. I'm all discombobulated and shit. Here we go.
You don't just get the fucking privilege of being pretty in my world. No, I decided.
Women are allowing most guys to earn the pussy instead of you allowing her to earn your non-sexual attention.
A woman is beautiful, bro. I'm the one that put her in position to shine.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, more blood flow, perhaps.
April 2nd is coming. It's coming. I know a lot of you guys that have 9 to 5s. I know you got your income tax return. I know you did. Don't buy no rims, no Xboxes, no Jordans, no PlayStations. Get these tickets first.
Facts.
All right. Let's go ahead and get into this. What's so funny, gentlemen? This morning, right when I was setting everything up, I was looking at my YouTube channel and I said, we've done this topic before. So I added a part 2 to it. I'm like, we've done it before. I didn't realize it, right? We did like a month or so before.
Right.
But in this YouTube space, it bears repeating because guys still don't learn.
Thanks.
Guys still don't learn. So it bears repeating. So here we go. There's a video I want to show. Okay, and this is important. I want every guy to understand that. Now let's talk about the topic real quick. Let me go back to the topic. I want to put that up there. And what are we talking about? You can't hide weakness. It's visible to women and men. Now, if you are in a relationship, your weakness being visible to us pales in comparison to the woman that you with. When she sees the weakness, I'm gonna show you what happens to you. I'm gonna show you what happens to you when she sees that you're weak and she has no respect for you. Hold on, there's one.
This is the shit I got to go through. It's like I got to choose between my child and my marriage. And the shit getting old. It's getting very old and frustrating.
Between your child and your marriage, what is you doing? I mean, like, what's going on?
I'm recording, man.
No, I ain't recording because you ain't dropping that shit. I don't give a damn about no Facebook, no YouTube, or nothing. No. Hey, I don't care nothing about that. Because my thing is right here, you pay $500 a month. You can drop it. I'm going to put your business out there. You pay $500 a month in child support, and ain't nobody doing no extra. No shoes, no clothes, no toys, no nothing. Fuck all that.
What you talking about, man? My son needs some shoes.
I don't give a damn. No, she can get the shoes out of child support money. She get the shoes out of child support money. That's what you pay child support for. The court ordered child support. You ain't got to do shit else. And she ain't gifting nothing else. She should have never took the fucking child support out if she needed more money.
You shouldn't feel like that, though.
Why should I feel like that?
That's my fucking child.
I don't fuck that child. Fuck you too. I don't give a damn about that.
Look, I've seen this video.
That's funny.
It's hard to watch it because it fucks with my soul that this guy is allowing this woman. She said, "Fuck your child,
man,
and fuck you too." Let me just before I say what I want to say, because there's so much to talk about regarding that. The mere fact that she said, "Fuck your child," the marriage should have been over. Done. You can't come back from me. You cannot come back from saying "fuck your child" or "fuck me." You can't come back from that either. I don't play that type of shit. And I just want to point something out because guys are always saying, this is what guys like to say. Well, sometimes these women, they change during the relationship and they just get all psychotic. No, that's not what happens.
Exactly.
What happens is somewhere along the way, before she even became a wife, she was disrespectful. She was very comfortable. So that means that she's been doing that. She's been talking to him like that, which prompted him to record it to begin with, because he wanted to prove what he go through.
Right.
Let me just say this about you bitch ass dudes recording shit. This is just my personal opinion. The only time you should record something regarding your woman is if she's damaging property. Okay, you about to sue her ass and call the police on her. You're gonna go to jail and you're about to sue her. But for evidence. But you don't post it to YouTube though. You don't post it on social media. You record it. The only people that should see it is the authorities, the lawyers, and the court. Right. Nobody else should see it. When you post it to social media, what you're saying is, I need validation. I'm showing you guys what I go through. I want someone to be in my corner. Like, poor guy, man, that bitch is horrible. Now, let me just say this about her. She is a piece of shit. Let's just get that out the way.
Right.
But I guarantee you, there was another guy she would have been with. She never would have even fixed her mouth to talk to him like that. So let's talk about the child support thing, right? Because my thing is, because guys got a big deal with child support. I'm a firm believer. This is just my opinion, though. If a woman puts you on child support and y'all never discuss it, she just put you on child support, she don't respect you. Because if she did, she would talk to you first. And y'all would try to work something out for the benefit of the child. Right. If she just arbitrarily just puts you on child support, she don't respect you. Now, basically what that woman is saying, you already paying child support. Why are you spending extra money buying shit for your kid? So she basically controlling the money in the household, his money. Basically tell him what he can and can't do with his own money for his own child. But this is what I would say about him. You chose her, bro. Y'all got it.
Yeah. I was just thinking that when I was listening to it, it sounded to me like a man talking to a woman instead of a woman talking to a man.
Right.
her mentality, the very like the structured, direct way of looking at everything and the way she was addressing the situation. Now, if you just toned down the amount of emotion that was being used, it sounded like a man was dealing with it.
I was gonna say that you kind of saw like as soon as she started talking, you saw his submissive body language.
Oh yeah, his tail tucked right between his legs.
Right, because he was talking to the camera, explaining his case. Then as soon as she opened her mouth, he just went to go sit down.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And it's
like he knew he couldn't control her at all.
Right. If we can see that, trust me, she can see it. She could feel it. She detects it early. Like she know, and that's you listen to her, like you were saying, Mr. Justin, you listen to her tone, you listen to her expression, her cadence. Like she has absolutely no respect for this dude. But see, understand the reason is because this dude has no respect for himself. Because he's saying to him, well, you shouldn't feel that way. But what are we debating here?
He's trying to reason with her.
This is my money. This is my child. I have a responsibility. And whether or not, like, if I want to do something extra for my child, that's whose business of like, why is that your business? And why is that anything that you should be telling me about and controlling me and all of this type of shit? And, again, you have a lot of situations in life where if you're, as a man, if you don't believe in your ability to make decisions for your own life, you will easily allow somebody else to dictate even your moral standing to yourself. You understand? Like I've seen situations where, men are trying, they have a situation where they're honest about the fact that they see other women, right? And you can be and this is why you have to believe in yourself as a man, because you can be in a situation where a woman, she says she's okay with it and everything is cool, but every other like situation is like a passive aggressive argument as a result of her jealousy. And then what she tries to do is she tries to look her nose down at you and act as if you're a bad person for the fact that you deal with other women. Instead of respecting the fact that you're honest about your position, they try to shame you. They try to scold you. And they would rather do that than just leave you the fuck alone and go get with some other dude who doesn't want to be with another woman. So they'll say that they're okay with you dealing with other women, right? And you could be responsible, you could be respectful, you can manage your situation the way you're supposed to as a man, but then you get this passive aggressive attitude of, well, you're not that great of a man, and you're this and you're that, and oh, is this what you do for your other women, and always like digging and prodding and being passive aggressive and using these situations to browbeat you into a certain level of submission where you literally start to think, well, maybe I am a piece of shit for fucking with other women. You see what I'm saying? But see, that's exactly why you got to believe in yourself and believe in what you do. And then your job is to find women that believe in you as much as you believe in yourself. You understand? Because a woman that would browbeat you and try to morally, diminish you or be condescending to you, you don't want to be with that type of woman. If you're going to accept the fact that I am who I am, if you're going to accept me as a man, then you really, truly have to accept me. You can't accept me, but try to be passive aggressive on the back end and be disrespectful to a man who knows who he is. You understand? And a man who knows who he is not going to accept that type of behavior. A man who knows who he is not going to immediately go sit down once his woman starts talking. You see what I'm saying?
To your point, and Jerome, I'm gonna pass it to you in just a moment. To your point, Miles, and also Mr. Justin, you made a point about him tucking his tail between his legs. I want to read something, right? What is the definition of a weak man? A weak man is someone who has settled in with his flaws and isn't willing to make an effort to strive for more for fear of dealing with what it might feel like if things go awry. Meaning, if he checked that chick, what is he afraid of? Getting sex rationed to him? What is he afraid of? Her not cooking dinner? You know what I'm saying? What is he afraid of? Her basically taking her physical presence away from him? Right. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. That's what guys are afraid. Guys, he's afraid. He's afraid of her. I'm not saying he's afraid of her physically, which it wouldn't surprise me if she hadn't hit him with a pot of pan or two already. But he's but he's afraid of angering her.
Exactly.
I don't want her pissed off. And to me, how weak of a man do you have? I don't give a fuck if a chick get mad at me or not. You know what I mean? I don't care. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, if I got something I need to holler at you about, I'm gonna holler at you about it. You know what I'm saying? However you feel, however you feel. But however you feel, it better be a respectful response to your feelings. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, if a chick talking to me and her tone get a little too, hey, lower your tone. Lower your tone. I had to tell a chick that. You know what I'm saying? Once or twice. Hey, lower your tone. I'm just really upset. I don't care how upset you are. Lower your tone. If you feel like you can't lower your tone, go ahead and go in the room, lay down for a minute, you know what I'm saying, and come back at me later when you calm your ass down. But when you speak to me, you're going to speak to me in a very calm voice. You ain't going to have no anger in your shit, no vitriol, no angst, nothing. And for goddamn sure, you're not going to use curse words when speaking to me. Like, old girl was shit, fuck. Even if she's not directing those curse words at me, hey. Take all them curse words out your goddamn vocabulary when you talk to me. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I feel. You got it, J-Rom.
Yeah, at some point you expected him to use the famous phrase of "Who the fuck you talking to?" You know, and that never came out. And I'll just start with the child support part because I thought the whole thing was disgusting.
Right.
In some states, I don't know what state they're in, but in some states, when you do some sort of custody schedule and you get it finalized with the courts, they automatically start child support. They automatically start it without the lady even having to say, or the guy even having to say, I would like child support. They just automatically put that in because the schedule is off. Maybe it's, you know, a person getting only the weekends, which means that they have to help out with somebody that has more of the week because there's more responsibilities that they have to pay for. But for a $500 child support, that's pretty low. That is
how high it could be.
How high? Yeah, that's pretty low. And the simple fact that this guy wants to get his son some shoes, you know, which is a reasonable thing. You know, child support is paid. Hey, that's the road you took. You got to do what you got to do. Now, your expression and you want to take care of your son, it doesn't have to be set in that child support. You can pick him up. Hey, let's go get you some shoes. That's building a relationship with your son. But for her to say, fuck your son.
Yeah.
And then before he even responds to that, because she knows she has the power to say, and fuck you too. So it basically, it don't matter what you about to say at this moment. So that just lets you know the position he has established, not that he's in. You know, he didn't pop up in this position. He established it because she was very, very comfortable on saying it. And then on top of that, recognized and said, I don't care if I'm putting your business out.
Right.
I'm going to say this to you and to everybody you are videotaping this for. You know, so just the lack of manhood had him turning around and sitting in that position. It's almost like when it's almost like when there's somebody on the playground or somebody somewhere and they're kind of barking, and then the big dog barks. You know, so you thought the big dog was barking at first, but then the big dog barks, and that dog just kind of like settles down. Like there's real trouble coming right now. And it just looked like that whole scene, like she's the one running that house right there to tell him not to spend his money on his own child.
Yeah. Oh, you know, I bet you she punishes him with sex. I bet you he slept on the couch multiple times a week. I bet you. And for those of you who coming in, real quick, Art with the 499 pound, he let his son down the second she said if your son, and he let it slide. F you and your son. This has been going. I want guys to understand. This is the problem with a lot of guys when guys say, "Oh, sometimes women just go crazy." No. She has been talking to him crazy.
Yeah, that was definitely not a one-off.
No, and this is what guys do. Guys think women don't change like that. Look, I had a back and forth with a guy on YouTube where women can play a role. I'm like, yeah, for a couple months. You know what I'm saying? But a woman who has bad intentions and she never really respected you from the beginning, if you allow some time to pass, she will show you signs that she ain't that chick. You ignore the red flags. I refuse to believe a chick can be perfect for a year or two and then all of a sudden she's an ogre. No, there are signs. There are signs of her being argumentative. There are signs of her wanting to control shit. There are signs that she got a problem with you having a child. In his case, she got a problem with the mother. She got a problem with the mother getting, because the way she look at it is, that's my money going out the house to that bitch. That's my money. Yeah. So she already feels like my money. Because she don't feel like it's his money. She feels like my money that's meant for me. Because I bet you the only reason she's with him is to be taken care of. So any money going out that house is a threat to her being taken care of, which is why she's so fucking mad.
Yeah. Yeah. What I was thinking of, and it's related to a conversation I was having with this guy that I'm helping out. And it's about having the axe and the hatchet. It's the concept that I teach my guys, and I was telling him about it. And as a man, you need an axe and a hatchet, and you also need a set of standards that give you the structure by which you can wield them. All right. So just real quick, the axe is the thing that you need to bring to an end to a situation. Right. This is of high levels of disrespect, violence, or whatever, and you pull out that axe and you sever the relationship right then and there. It's done. Okay, but that's only used at like very high level, right? The hatchet is the smaller thing that's used to halt certain behaviors, halt certain things that you find unacceptable, right? But you can't just have these things and use them, right? They have to be backed up by a system that you believe in. So it's kind of like if you imagine a state has police, but there's no laws governing the police. They're just kind of freewheeling and doing whatever. That's what it would be like if you had an axe and a hatchet without a set of codes guiding the axe and the hatchet. So you kind of have to reverse engineer it and understand what you stand for, what your laws and your rules are, and what you believe in, and you have to be willing to enforce them at any moment.
Right.
And guys like this don't have that. And they don't have the state, they don't have the laws, they don't have the rules, and they don't have the enforcement. And then that's when it becomes an issue. And they get stuck in these situations and not know how. And then on top of it, there are these emotional guys that are deeply afraid of losing that connection. So even if you tell them, cut the woman off, she's being extremely disrespectful, they can't, because they need her there for the emotional validation, even if it's shitty validation, such as what we saw in the video.
Yeah. Let me say this real quick before I address Mr. Russell Douglas. Guys like him, they don't have a reward consequence system.
Right.
Meaning, if you're dealing with a woman and she's actually adhering to your standards and principles, she's doing whatever she needs to do to be in your life, you reward her. Okay. The minute she goes against the grain and she and the balance is upset, there's consequences to that. You have a conversation. The conversation doesn't need to be you yelling or you cursing her out.
No.
The conversation just needs to be you reminding her. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing, though. If she earned her place in your life, she's going to have the mindset of, I can risk losing it by my behavior. But if you just gave it to her, she feels entitled to it. So she doesn't see any incentive to do anything worth the fucking reward, and she fears no consequence. Now, Russell Douglas, you said it's not always true. I had family and friends who switched up. Bro, if they switched up on you, that means you switched up on them. Okay, I hate when guys just act like people that just do shit out the blue. No, what happens is either you switched up on them, and by virtue of that, they switched up on you, or there were signs already there for years or months that these people don't deserve to be they don't deserve to have the role they have in your life, but you kept them there because they were your family and friends.
I'll say this to Russell Douglas as well. See, dealing with family and friends is a little bit different than dealing with a female. That's number one. You're born into your family. You understand? A lot of people have a lot of expectations and things that they expect from just having a family. Like, oh, my mother's always going to love me. Oh, my dad is going to always look out for me. My brothers and sisters, they love me regardless. Like, no. Family they're just really strangers with your DNA. It still takes effort and time and energy to create a close relationship with family. You understand? And friends is cool because friends, you get to choose your friends. However, you're not romantically involved with friends, right? You don't usually fuck your friends, right? You don't usually have sex with your friends, or have a certain aesthetic where you are kind of like leading your friends. A lot of times it's more of like a collaborative effort when you're dealing with friends, right?
Yep.
So dealing with friends, dealing with family is different from dealing with females. Because you got to remember, a female is trying to survive. A female is looking for leadership. A female is looking for certain particular things from a man, and she needs for him to be consistent. You understand? Now, the only way to develop consistency when dealing with a woman on a romantic level is by the vetting process. You understand? And shout out to the Bad Boy membership, because I've never heard none of these dudes on the internet talking about vetting until Lucario started talking about it. So I'm gonna just say that. But anyway,
wait, real quick before you continue. That's true because I got it from y'all. So I'm not gonna front and act like, hey, I've been talking about. No, I heard it from these brothers first. But go ahead.
So Russell Douglas, you have to understand that vetting is not just about you judging the woman and checking her behavior. Vetting is about you also. And this is a point to what Kay Zaga was saying. If people switched up with you, more than likely you switched up with them. So, you have to pay attention to what you do, when you're in a leadership position. And here's the thing that a lot of guys don't understand. You are in a leadership position, whether you know it or not. The guy in the video, he's in a leadership position. He just doesn't know it. So he's allowing the woman to usurp him with her emotionality, with her irrationality, with her feelings. And so she uses that to kind of overpower his ability to lead. And you literally see that in the video. As soon as she starts talking, he takes a back seat. You understand? So he doesn't even realize his position of leadership. And that's where a lot of guys get it wrong. So Russell Douglas, number one, there's differences between family and friends and dealing with a woman. And at the same time, you still have to look at yourself at all times and make sure that you're being consistent with a woman. You understand? And you have to also got to be consistent with family and friends, too. The thing with family and friends is that we get comfortable real easy with family and friends. You understand? Because especially with family, because you think, well, that's my family. We're supposed to be close. We're supposed to have a great relationship. No, the truth is you're supposed to be on point with the things that you want based on your identity, which is why I'm always pushing masculine identity. You got to know who you are. Zulu Hulk with the 140 Zar. I don't even know what that is.
Zaire, probably from the country Zaire.
Okay, probably. Okay, cool. Appreciate that. He says, Miles, you mentioned not dealing with a woman making slick remarks on you dealing with her women. With
other women
in a relationship with her. How is this different to her telling you she feels jealous about it from time to time? Well, no. A slick remark is a slick remark. But if my woman comes to me and says, hey, you've been spending extra time with so-and-so, and I'm feeling a little bit, jealous. I'm feeling a little bit insecure about the time that you spend with the other woman. That's her coming to me and letting me know that she needs a little bit of reassurance. You understand?
Right. It's not about having any remark. It's the slickness that makes the problem.
Exactly. Her telling me that she feels jealous, her telling me that she's feeling a little bit uncomfortable is okay. A woman communicating her feelings that's what women do. It's up to you as a man to reassure her, to lead her, to let her know that through consistency, hey, you don't have to worry about nothing. I deal with other women, but I still make you a priority, and so on and so forth. But just like Mr. Justin said, it's not about the remark. It's about the slickness. So a woman can explain her feelings to you and be respectful. You understand? So Zulu Hunk, that's really what it is. It's not about the remark. It's about the slickness. Thanks, Mr. Justin.
Well, let me add this to Zulu Hunk. It's kind of like if you have an open relationship and the chick was cool with it, and then you coming in after being out, dealing with another chick, and she say something slick, like you come in here smelling like that bitch. That's some slick shit. You know what I'm saying? Because now you're looking at her like, because a lot of times when women are slick like that, it's almost like they want to start some shit. You know what I'm saying? And like Miles said, there's a big now she can feel that way, or he coming in smelling like that bitch. But it's not about how she feels, because I can give a fuck about how she feels. It's about how she expresses how she feels.
Mm-hmm.
Like Miles said, in a very respectful, calm manner. We have a conversation about it. She ain't got to break down all the different things that she feels, but the jealousy part. Okay, the jealousy part could be you come in, she want to have sex with you. You're like, nah, girl, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna lay down and go to sleep. But she could be thinking, oh, so that bitch tired you out. I can't get none of my dick. No, that type of shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, but it's the slickness of, oh, so you gave her all the good stuff and all you got for me is lazy dick. You know what I'm saying? That's that slick shit.
Right.
Y'all got it.
Right.
But to this comment, and to the Douglas comment, something that we touched on, which is a lot of my big emphasis on men, is laziness. A lot of times, especially for guys that feel like they got a certain amount of game, they get the girl, they wife her or they girlfriend her up, and then they relax on the things that they were doing. And then they want to say later on, well, she switched up, she changed up, you switched up, you changed up, you weren't consistent with who you were because you got lazy, you got comfortable in that position. So for the Zulu, you got lazy on your balance and making sure things are maintained. And then when they comment, be like, oh, now with slick remarks. Well, yeah, the slick remarks ain't cool, but at the same time, you got to go back to understand that, hey, there's something that I'm not doing consistently enough to maintain the situation.
Exactly.
And I think that's the same in relationships, the same dealing with family members, the same dealing with everybody. You can't be lazy as men. And, that's one of my deepest emphasis that I say to anybody that I'm talking to is that laziness. You got to kick it. And we try to make excuses for it. And we try to hide that amongst women, but they see it. People see it, and your family members who really knows you see it sooner than anybody else. And that's why you feel like they switched up so quick.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let me do this. Justin, you was about to talk?
Yeah, I wanted to say something about the slickness is that anything like that comes up, you need to catch it immediately.
Yes, sir.
And this is the hatchet, right? It has to be at the ready, in its holster, on your hip, 24/7. And because the like, you ever hear the phrase the path of least resistance is what makes the river crooked. Okay. So water's flowing down a hill, right? And it hits a stone, it goes around the stone. And then over time, it starts going like this, right? Then it hits another solid object and goes around that. That happens over years, decades, whatever. Next thing you know, the river looks like this, okay? It's the path of least resistance that makes the river crooked. You have to exert effort to move that stone, to move that stick, whatever, to maintain that river moving in a straight line.
Right.
And that is done in a relationship by keeping that hatchet there, and you catch things immediately when they happen. And how you catch it is dependent upon whatever the infraction was, right? So of course, the correction or even the punishment has to be in line with whatever the infraction is. So you're not going to fly off the handle just because she raised her voice a little bit too, right? You catch it immediately the first time, and you give her a memo, like, hey, you didn't catch the memo, but here's the memo. In here, we don't raise our voice. You're not to speak louder than I do, or whatever the infraction was. You don't fly off the handle and go crazy and shit. No, you don't. So you got to keep things in line. But the point is that you have to catch these things immediately as they happen, as they come up, and that will say without saying, this is the sort of structure and guidelines that we're going to be operating in. And so you have to be a great way. I'll just give a little tip to know what some of your rules are, because you're not going to know what they are immediately. You'll know some of them, but pay attention to the things that irk you as a man, just in life. When your friends come over, family, you're out and about or whatever, you see somebody doing something that just kind of like gets under your skin. That should be an indication to you that there might be a rule there. You know, you go out to eat and you see somebody, they're at another table and they just get up and leave their shit, and they don't even push the chair in, like, right? And you're like, oh, like, why can't they just fucking push the chair in? Right. So that might be a rule. That might be an indication that there's a rule there, that in your home, you expect people to push the chair in after they're done eating, that sort of thing.
Oh, and to your point, and that's some real shit about what you were saying about when a woman kind of raises her voice, you kind of redirect her, you don't fly off the handle and trip. Because I'm gonna tell you this: once you start arguing and yelling with a chick and going back and forth, she gonna lose respect for you.
It's a
You know
wrap.
what I'm saying? And it's a wrap. And once you do that, now you're like one of her female friends. You're catty. You're being catty. You know what I'm saying? It's real feminine to yell back and forth. Number one, even as a man yelling at another man. Like one of the things I used to always hate when I was in high school, when two dudes would be about to fight and they'd be barking back and forth. Nigga, what you gonna do? Oh, what you gonna do? Swing. You swing. And I'm looking at y'all bitches like, look, we're gonna beat both of y'all up. You know what I'm saying? If both of y'all just don't fight. Stop talking. You know what I'm saying? So we used to hate that shit. Now let me do this real quick. I'm gonna re-show the video again for the people that are coming in late so they can understand and grasp why we're talking about what we're talking about. Miles, before we go, you got anything you want to say?
No idea, because Babis Michael hit us with the 10 euros, and he says love you guys. So I just want to put that up.
Hold on, real quick. Let me go ahead and do that.
Yeah, there you go.
Appreciate that. So for those of you who are coming in late and you wonder what we're talking about, we're gonna show you real quick.
This is the shit I got to go through. It's like I got to choose between my child and my marriage, and the shit getting old. It's getting very old and frustrating.
Between your child and your marriage, what is you doing? I mean, like, what's going on?
I'm recording, man.
I ain't recording because you ain't dropping that shit. I don't give a damn about no Facebook, no YouTube, or nothing. No. Hey, I don't care nothing about that. Because my thing is right here, you pay $500 a month. You can drop it. I'm going to put your business out there. You pay $500 fucking dollars a month in child support, and ain't nobody doing no extra. No shoes, no clothes, no toys, no nothing. Fuck all that.
What you talking about, man? My son needs some shoes.
I don't give a damn. No, she can get the shoes out of child support money. She get the shoes out of child support money. That's what you pay child support for. The court ordered child support. You ain't got to do shit else. And she ain't gifting nothing else. She should have never took the fucking child support out if she needed more money.
You shouldn't feel like that, though, man.
Why should I feel like that?
That's my fucking child.
I don't fuck that child. Fuck you too. I don't give a damn about that.
Yo, every time I hear this shit fucks with my spirit, man.
But you can see that he has no influence, and she has all the influence, and she knows that influence was easy, and so she knows if he spends too much time at the baby mom's house, she's gonna start to influence. Like they're fighting for the influence of the weakest man here.
Yeah. Hey, did you notice one thing I noticed too? If you catch it real quick, where he's looking at the camera, right? He's like, "Hey man, you know I'm going through this situation." As soon as he hears her voice, he's like,
like a little kid with his mom's shoe in her hand.
Yeah, because he's looking at the camera, vibing and talking, and then as soon as she opens her mouth, you see the defeat just come over his body, and then he just takes a walk over to the seat and sits down.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
I didn't catch it the first time when he said, "I am tired of this. This has been going on for a while. So this is
getting old. This is
a constant battle in his household."
Well, he said, I don't want to have to choose between my wife and my child. Choose you. Choose. What about you? See, this is how you know guys ain't got no respect for themselves. He's like, between my wife and my child, it's not about you choosing between this woman and your seed. Choose you.
Facts. MasculineIdentityMembership.com.
We got to do it right, Miles. We can't let that ride without letting niggas know what it is.
Sir.
Right, go ahead, plug it again.
Exactly. MasculineIdentityMembership.com. Choose you. Understand your identity. Understand who you are. These are the type of issues that we talk about over here at the Masculine Identity Membership, man, where a man would never be in this type of position, man. Appreciate it.
No, not at all. Because you got this vetting thing.
Mm-hmm.
See, it's weird that it has to be explained over and over and over again, because you don't get into these situations because you're vetting properly, and you can't vet properly until you have a sense of what you stand for. You have to have a sense of what your priorities are, what your rules are, what your principles are, what your codes are, what your to reiterate what Steve talks about. It's the damn truth. It's kind of like if you've got a state and they're trying to corral how to manage the people of the state, and they don't have any guidelines or rules put in place. How are they going to do it? And then what happens, guys get into relationships, then they call us up, right? And try to scramble to put something together before things really fall apart, just so they can remain to have access to that woman's body once a
But
month, right?
and they still don't understand it because they call you guys up and they try to govern as if you were governing, and they're missing the point where how much all of it is needed to one know yourself with that identity, and then get coaching to understand how to set your own boundaries for yourself with that identity. You
Boundary.
can't call up, you can't call up and do things exactly like somebody else is doing, because it might not be like Mr. Justin was saying. It might not be something that really bothers you.
Right.
You know,
Sure. Everyone's got their own set of rules.
everybody got their own set of things. You know, I'm a make the bed up type person. You get out of it, make the bed up, right? That might not bother somebody else, but if you set and stick on my rule, you're not going to have the passion behind it. You're not going to have the reasoning behind it. So you can't even express it like I would express it on why I feel it's important.
Of course.
So,
And
you
then you
know,
got to know yourself to Miles, you know, that it comes down to your identity and knowing exactly what that is. But you can't get there if your attention is brought out of your own mind, focusing on what other people are saying, what is suggested to you from culture, from media, from YouTube, from us, right? You have to drown it out and think about, what do I want, right? And I have this thing. I have like a little, you know, I have like you know, worksheets and things like that I send to my clients, and one of them is having 101 wants, and they got to sit there and write down 101 wants. These are grown men who can barely complete the task. They can't say, I want this, I want that, right, and just rattle it off. Take that same list, give it to a 7-year-old. They would be done within 5 minutes. And say, can I do more? Right?
I know why that is.
Right. And well, it's because I'd like to hear your reasoning, but I believe it's because they spend a lifetime trying to understand other people's wants and fulfilling it. Right. And so it's very hard for them to think for themselves, say, what do I want? And really just giving yourself that permission. Right. But if you're conditioned like this over years and years and years, combined with trying to get validation from another person, especially a woman, you're fucked. And then you're stuck in these situations like that guy in the video, and he's going to say, how do I salvage this situation? But actually, he's probably on his way out. He's probably thinking of like, oh my gosh, this is done. Because he sounded like he had despair in his voice.
Despair.
Like he's cooked.
He sounded defeated. Mr. Justin, to your point, I think what happens when they're doing that list, they always account for a woman being in their life. Well, what if I got a girlfriend? You know what? I can't put that because she might not like this. What if I got a wife? I can't put that because she might have a problem. So they're already, a lot of times these guys are single, already anticipating, if I have a woman in my life, all the things I want, I got to X off because she might have a problem with it. And my thing is with the 7-year-old, I don't give a fuck what nobody wants. This is what I want. Okay. And I think guys should be the same way because we're all selfish. Now, you can be selfish to your detriment, but nobody is selfless. You might commit a selfless act, but nobody is completely selfless. It's bullshit. We're all selfish to one degree or another. Now, you can be considerate of other people. You can be thoughtful of other people. Nothing wrong with that. But at the end of the day, if you're not looking out for you, who else is looking out for you? Find me a woman who's going to look out for you more than you will.
Right.
Please find me a woman who will look out for you more than you will. You won't fucking find one.
Not gonna happen.
Y'all got it.
Guys, y'all could call in 919-647-9392. Call in 919-647-9392. We would like to get your opinions and, answer some questions if y'all want to talk about it real quick. But yeah, call in, guys, 919-647-9392. Because we know we got some simps out there that need some recovering, man. Let's not even there. All right, we got 404. You're on the Manhood is the Skill Set show with Kay Zaggin, Mr. Justin, Jay Roman, and Miles. What's going on?
What's up, man? How y'all feeling?
We chilling, man. Let's get your name, age, and city real quick.
Oh, man, Miles, this is Z from Atlanta, man.
Oh, hey, what's going on with you, bro? How old are you again, just for the record?
I'm 29.
29. All right, man. Hey, man, what's on your mind? What's going on with you?
Hey, man. When it comes to I want to know this. Why do y'all think it takes guys a long time to walk away from a situation? Or why do you feel like guys want to just stay in the fucked up ass situation? You know what I'm talking about?
Okay. Well, I'll say this. I'll say this real quick, and I'll pass it to the guys on the panel. So, have you ever heard of a worse situation is actually better?
No, I ain't never heard that.
Okay, well, see, the thing is, as humans, like, and I got this from somewhere else. I can't articulate it in the same way that the guy did. I got it off a short. So this is not mine, but this was my understanding of what he said. A lot of times as human beings, we're in situations that are bad, right? But because it's bad, but we look at it and it's not that bad. You understand? So we can stay in it and deal with it. Right. But if the situation was just a little bit worse, we would automatically do what we needed to do to get the fuck up out of it. You get what I'm saying? So that's why sometimes a worse situation is better than a bad situation, because at least if it was worse, you would actually do what you needed to do to get out of it. So like with the guy in the video, he's probably thinking, well, my wife disrespects me, but I get pussy from time to time. It at least is better than going back out there in the dating field. You see what I'm saying? But if she was disrespecting him and beating his ass and threatening to cut off his dick, he would probably get the fuck up out the relationship immediately. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of times as human beings, because we don't believe in ourselves and we don't believe that we deserve better, we can stay in a bad situation only because it's not worse. But I'll let the other guys speak.
Let me add this, and I'm gonna take it in a particular direction. I think this has something to do with it sometimes, although not all the time. If you grow up in a household as a man, it doesn't matter what race you are, it doesn't matter, and you have no masculine figure to look up to, and the woman in the house is the dominant figure, and you're used to being talked to crazy by your mother, and let's say every now and again she has boyfriends or whatever, and she's always talking to men crazy, you're going to be indoctrinated and conditioned to believe that's normal.
Yeah.
To be talked to that way. But if you grow up in a household, even if it's not your biological father, if you grow up in a household where your mother is dealing with a man who commands respect, and there's a clear-cut role for her as the feminine woman and the masculine man, where you never hear her speak to that motherfucker sideways. You know what I'm saying? Where she cooking dinner, and this is just my personal opinion, where she cooking dinner, and I'm just giving you a scenario, where she cooking dinner, she make his plate first, she put the plate on the table for him. When he done, she come get the plate. She put it. When you see that, right, in your mind, you're going to grow up thinking that that's the way things should be. The problem with a lot of guys, they get into these relationships with women, and the fact that he's being cursed out like that, he probably believes that this is normal. So if I leave her and get another woman, I'm going to get the same shit from the next woman because of the investment and the years I put in and the money I spent buying this house and doing all this. I might as well just stay with her. I'm just saying, y'all got it.
Yep.
That's true. That's true. Kind of reminds me of that analogy. Where did I hear that? It was like some talk show where they're talking about fleas. And like a flea can jump like 3 feet high off the ground. But if you put it in a jar and it procreates in the jar, its young don't have that ability.
Right.
They jump up and they hit the roof of the inside of the jar, and then they only jump that high. But they have the ability to jump much further. But it's just the conditioning of the environment, and they think, well, this is normal. This is just my reality.
Right.
And that's the problem with a lot of guys. Like things I explain, things that we all explain of what a reality with a woman can actually be like, and they're like, nah, man, that's cap. That can't possibly be real.
Exactly.
And then occasionally I'll show little snippets of how my girl addresses me, how my girl talks to me, and they're like, nah, man. They still don't believe it. Like, no, this is a girl you paid, right? This is you put this together with Photoshop.
Yo,
That's sad. That's sad.
And I'm just like,
Sad.
nah. It's like my girl's right here next to me.
Right.
Like, it's real shit. But when you can't get the fuck out of here, when you can't get that in your own reality, it's like you're talking about unicorns and dragons, and it's like, bro, like unicorns and dragons exist.
Yeah.
You know.
No, and it's real because dudes they it's so profound what you just said, man, about the perception of reality and to the point where they don't think they deserve any more. They don't think they deserve any better. You understand what I'm saying? Because like even me personally, like I've been in super long-term relationships and there was arguments and there was back and forth, and it was crazy how there was a certain point in the relationship where I started to really realize who I was as a man. And then the more I realized who I was as a man is the more I realized that I wasn't compatible with that woman. Mm. And then me knowing who I was allowed me to meet new, like, other people. And upon meeting the other people, conducting myself in the way that I know that I'm supposed to behave as far as my identity, I'm in relationships where there's no fighting, there's no stress. Like it is like everything about the relationship is literally a benefit and only a benefit.
It's like that tribe thing that you and Lucario talking about.
Exactly.
Like when you set it up inside, your tribe finds you.
Yes.
And you find them. And it's like, okay, so this, and then there's less adjustment, right? There's far less adjustment that they have to do to get on your program.
Right. And on both sides, there's almost no adjustment on both sides because the compatibility is built in, because you know who you are, they know who they are. And if we're compatible, then we can meld together. If not, then we don't. A lot of people are trying to fit, a square peg into a circle hole. You understand? And then the other thing too is, they don't think, if they're a square peg, they really don't think they deserve a square hole. They really think they deserve a hole of a different shape, so to speak. They really think like a lot of people think relationships are supposed to be stressful and cantankerous and you're supposed to argue all the time. And oh yeah, hey man, you know how it is when you're in a dog house and your wife tells you to sleep on the couch. No, motherfucker, I don't know what it is.
I don't either.
I don't know what that is, bro.
On the couch.
Because even when I was in a long-term relationship that wasn't that good, I would never. What sleep on what couch? What are you talking about, bro? So what I'm saying is, the reason why men and Cole, I hope you're still there, man. We've been answering your question for the whole damn time.
I got one more question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now, Miles, I want you to finish what you're saying, because a lot of times callers be cutting you off and you don't be giving the game. You got something that you want to say, you be forgetting. So I want you to go ahead and finish what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm just saying, man, understanding who you are. Part of understanding who you are is understanding the stand, like Jay Roman said it earlier, understanding the boundaries, understanding the parameters, understanding if you have a certain level of love for yourself, then you only invite people in your life that have the same level of love for you. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's where compatibility, that's where the rubber meets the road, where I know how I view myself, how much I love myself. And so therefore I only allow people in my life who love me and view me on that level, and we're compatible, and I can love them and view them on that level the same way. You understand? So to say that a good relationship is impossible, you're only selling yourself short. There's a good relationship out there. There are many good relationships out there for you if you're willing to put in the work, and to put in the work on yourself, and to put in the work to find these relationships.
I'm glad you said that. You real quick, caller, you said the word compatible or compatibility. Compatible or compatibility literally means existing in harmony with no conflict.
Right.
So when we talk about Bernard County said, if there's no arguments in a relationship, then it will be dull. What can we do to spice it up? If you're arguing in a relationship, that means you're not compatible. That means it's not harmonious. That means there's conflict. It's okay to have a misunderstanding and you just provide clarity for the misunderstanding.
Right.
Because if you are a leader, if you are the man of your house, it's not to say that you're perfect. We're not perfect. Okay, there might be things your woman may suggest that makes more sense than what you're talking about.
Right.
But she's earned that right to where you be like, you know what, babe, you know what, I got you. Let's go ahead and do what you talking about. That makes more sense. Right? Like we were talking about the traveling thing the other day, where as soon as we talking about vacation, women start booking shit, boom, boom, boom. They got everything figured out. They got, hey, you can take one carry-on bag, you can take one big bag, the weight is this, anything more than that is gonna cost X amount of dollars. They be having everything figured out, right? So a lot of times you be like, baby, you got that. You know what I'm saying? You run that particular thing. But if you're arguing, I need guys to understand, if you're arguing in your relationship, let me tell you what that is. That is a woman who is in disagreement with your leadership. She doesn't like your leadership. A woman should never argue with her man. If there are concerns, she can bring them to you. And again, you provide clarity. So that way there's a mutual understanding as to what the assignment is. But if you're arguing back and forth, here's a woman that's not feeling your leadership. And what she's doing is revolting against it.
I think that, you know, when we were talking about the 7-year-olds compared to the adults answering those questions, and then also this question, and it kind of aligns with exactly what Justin was talking about as far as their reality. And I think there's a lack of belief in the reality that you can create.
Yes.
And I don't think they believe that they can create, just like this question here. You don't believe you can create a relationship without all this argumenting, because you would deem it as dull because the rest of your relationships have been like that. But they don't have to be like that to be exciting relationships. So if you have a lack of reality, I play video games, and sometimes in the video game mode, you can create yourself, right? And I create myself 99 overall every time. And somebody asked me, why do you do that? Well, if I was to create myself, why would I create myself lacking in any way? So if I'm going to create myself in a basketball game, I'm Jordan on the basketball game. I'm 99. All my attributes are all the way up. Why would I create myself any less? And some of you guys are creating a reality, and this is why you can't answer the 100 questions on what you want, because you put a governor on yourself, and you put a governor on your reality where you say that can't be done. And then you go one step further and say, not only can it be done, but somebody else can't even create it.
Right.
Not even knowing their own attributes. But it can't be done for me, and it can't be done for somebody else. And so I think that's where the surprise is, and says, hold on, you get to create a relationship like that? Yeah, I do. Nah, that's on cap. You're lying. No, you can't do that.
That's true.
That's so much belief or lack of belief that they have in themselves that they can't even fathom anybody else doing it.
Yeah, facts.
So you're in a relationship, and you stay in this relationship because, one, you feel like relationships are like this. There's always going to be some sorts of trouble. There's always going to be some sort of pushback. Women are always going to do this. They're always going to do that. And so your reality keeps you in that place because that's all you know, and you can't think of anything else. And by the time it goes super bad, here we are blaming everybody else except ourselves because we created our own reality.
Facts.
Yep.
Hey, caller, you have another question, brother?
Yes, the question is this, and I know y'all probably gonna say something about it to me and things like that, but it seems like do y'all think that these chicks won't suckers and won't want to be with simps? Because I mean, the same chick that you see in this video, she probably cheating on that guy. To be honest with you.
Wait, what? Caller, I'll tell you this. Women. It's not that women don't really want anything. You understand? All women want truly is leadership. You understand? Women want to be told what to want. That's what they really want. You understand? Well, however, what happens is when a woman comes in contact with a man that doesn't know what he wants, then she feels compelled to take over the situation and then just look into her emotions and then starts to put her desires on the table. Now, if he's a man, then he will manage and mitigate and say, no, I understand you want this, but we're going to do this. But if he's a weakling, if he's the type of guy that as soon as his woman start talking, he goes sit down like the dude in the video, then the only thing that's going to matter is what the woman wants. And if you notice, if you pay close attention, this video is a beautiful example, actually, because if you pay close attention to the video, you realize that everything that the woman wants and everything that she's expressing is emotional and irrational. But the reason why she has the platform and the stage to do that is literally because that man submits to her. He folded to her. Do you understand? Yeah. He let himself become defeated by her energy, by whatever, because she saw the weakness in him. Just like, going back to the title, he can't hide his weakness. And once she and I'm gonna just add this as well. You have to understand something. When a woman realizes that a man is weak, because I tell you guys that a woman is about her survival. You understand? That's all a woman really wants to do. She needs to be protected. She needs structure, and she needs to survive so she can be healthy enough to provide, to bring forth child from a man's seed. And so the children can survive, right? That's a woman's true desire based on nature. That's a baseline desire. Now, when she meets a man who is weak, a man who folds, just because she opened up her mouth and started expressing some emotion, and he just automatically cowers down, right? What you see in her belligerence is not simply belligerence for the sake of being malicious or belligerent. What you see is fear. That's what you see. You see fear, because there's really only two emotions in the world, if you think about it, because it's really only negative, positive, black, white. Just like in emotions, it's only fear and love. Every emotion out there can be either put in one section or the other. So what you see when a woman is responding this way to a man, what she sees is fear, because she realizes this man is weak. Therefore, my survival is in jeopardy. Therefore, I am afraid. So because I'm afraid, I have to be belligerent. Like, it's just like how when certain animals in the wild, in order for them to, when they feel confrontation, they widen their stance. They puff out their feathers and their fur.
It's like a survival response.
Exactly. When you see a dog get really angry, you see the fur on his back start to curl up, and he starts to get real big, and then he starts to bark. What you're seeing is
a king cobra will do his little hood.
Yep, exactly.
Flare out his collar. Exactly. What you're seeing is
a fear response.
A fear response to a threat to his survival, or a threat to her survival in this case. So now she's cursing. She's being disrespectful. But all it is, I'm scared because my man doesn't know how to lead. I'm scared because my man is weak. That's all you're really seeing.
Mm-hmm. To add to that, go ahead, caller. Go ahead.
What's up?
This is the last thing I'm gonna say, because y'all probably got other callers and things. But when it comes to what you said, Miles, I understand that. On the other end of that, when you are the man and she rejects the leadership, and I know I'm not trying to refute your point or anything like that.
Yeah. I'm
just saying, when on the other side, when she's you are that guy, but then a lot of times she rejects the leadership. And I'm from Atlanta, and it's kind of, it's not different, but it's a little different.
Yeah.
From a lot of other cities. So when she
rejects the leadership,
when she rejects her leadership, does that mean that she actually scared, or she just, like you just say, she just being belligerent?
Let me get them real quick. Okay, caller. When a woman rejects your leadership, okay, there's one of two situations you're going to be in. Either she never respected you to begin with, but she's willing to deal with you because there's an incentive, or at one point in time, she did respect you because due to or she did respect you, but because of your inconsistencies in your leadership, now she doesn't trust you.
Right.
You got to understand, when Miles is talking about fear, it's trust. I don't trust that this thing won't harm me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't trust in you. When I dare you to find somebody that you don't trust that you also respect.
Right.
Find me that motherfucker.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So what people have to understand, when you don't trust something, you can't respect it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times when we talk about the rejection of leadership, what tends to happen is you might have a woman who do respect you, right? She does adore you, admire you, all of that type of shit. But somewhere along the line, you became inconsistent. Once you become inconsistent, you're no longer reliable.
Exactly.
You're no longer dependable. She can't trust you. Now her well-being is in harm's way.
Exactly.
She can't believe in you.
Exactly.
And there was always signs before that, and that main, oh, she doesn't trust her, oh, she's not going along with my leadership. There were signs before that where things were kind of coming off the rail.
Right. Right.
And so that would have been the time if the person was steady and consistent to say, hey, hold on, what's going on here, to reset things to get it back on track. So now the track is back straight. It's no longer wobbling anymore because you've addressed the situation prior to, instead of opening up to bigger problems down the road.
That's exactly what I was going to point out, that if you're in a situation where your leadership is being questioned that hard, it means you likely didn't start off in the right place to begin with.
Right.
And when the little things, like what I was talking about, like with the hatchet, even with your own behavior, right, as well as theirs, if you're not correcting things along the way, then you're going to be dealing with a bigger thing in the end, right? So that bend in the river is going to be a huge bend, or that you're going to have to try to correct, and oftentimes it's going to be too much effort in order to do that, and you're going to be start to think, oh shit, like, is this even worth it? Right. Whereas if you kept it going from the jump of small corrections along the way, which will require you knowing where the heck you wanted to go in the first place, and then having a means to get there and the reason why, okay? Because guys don't have the reason. It's like, well, all right, I'm going to correct your behavior, but like, well, why are you correcting your behavior? Based on what? Right. And that's really important. So it's like all these things got to be set up beforehand and not try to sort it out when you're in the middle of the thing, right? Especially something that's been going on for many months or years or whatever. It's like, you've gone on that far, it's done. Just stop and start over, right? And so it's just the little corrections over time, so you don't have to deal with a big correction in after a couple of months or whatever.
Right. And that's what the title, just real quick, that's what the title is about. When they see your weakness, and you could tell in the video, like, we're only seeing the video from this aspect. We don't know the conversations prior to the video. So maybe every time he goes over to take care of his son, he stays a little long. Maybe he stays for dinner, or maybe he gives too much money, or maybe she feels that he can't be controlled because she sees that this is his weakness. And so she lashed out over that fear of losing that influence of him, instead of having the baby mama have too much influence on him. Just speculation on that. But you could tell that something's been happening, because if it's been a consistent thing that she's been bothered by, it's been a consistent weakness that he's never corrected, either on his part or on her part.
And so caller, I just want to adjust your question real quick. So you said, what happens when you are the man and she knows that you're the man, but she still rejects it? Rejects your leadership?
Exactly.
Now, is this a woman in your example? Is this a woman that you just met, or like, what's the deal? Is this a woman that you on the approach, or like, what's the situation?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to explain. I know, and that I'm good. I'm glad that y'all said that for the other people that's watching and in the chat. But I'm talking about from the beginning.
Right. Well,
I already know, like
Yeah, and that's what and I heard that in your call. That's why that's why I was just trying to clarify, because I heard that in your call. See, and I'll add to it this way. There's a lot of women out there. They've already been tainted by weak men. You understand? There's a lot of women out there that have been, for example, there's a lot of men that they left the household for whatever reason. You understand? So there's a lot of women out there dealing with daddy issues. So their daddy abandoned them. Their father, their first example of what a man should be, abandoned them. So they already have a certain level of mistrust for men, right? Or maybe somewhere along the way they got, touched inappropriately by an uncle or a male cousin or something like that, or maybe a teacher, a male teacher, male coach, whatever.
One in three.
You know, there are many times where as men see, and this is why we even do what we do. This is why we have these shows, guys. Manhood is a skill set, masculine identity, bad boy membership. You know, everything that with Real Game No Theory, everything that we talk about is to help shore up the quality of character of men in this society. I know it may not seem like it necessarily because we be talking all types of bitches and you know, when you approach a bitch and holler at a bitch and blah blah blah, and it just sounds like we're on some dating shit. But when you really boil down everything that we do, we are trying to ensure quality character in men. This is why we want you guys to believe in yourselves. So you don't do fucked up shit to lower the quality of the brand of manhood and masculinity. When you meet a woman who distrusts you right off the bat, that's because it's been 15 dudes in her life before she met you that told her he would never cheat on her, and he cheated. That wasn't like the type of guys on his panel that would deal with other women and let her know, hey, I'm the type of guy that I don't deal with one woman. So if you're gonna deal with me, understand that I'm dealing with other women. Guys that lie, guys that never believed themselves in the first place and used her trust and fucked it all up. You understand? Women have been tainted by weak men, and you have to. And the reason why it's important to understand this is to understand how much our decisions affect society, because men will be in all these different spaces in YouTube complaining about females, not realizing that the main reason why females act the way that they do is because they've come in contact with low quality men.
Right. Yeah, it turns into conditioning.
Yeah.
So to answer the question, like what do you mean when a woman can see weakness? You can see anything that you have a frequency of seeing. Right. So if you're in a situation, you're dealing with a lot of people, right, throughout your life, and you're lied to a lot. Okay, let's just say that as an example. You're lied to, like, let's say like in business, right, or whatever, and you're coming across like people lying to you constantly, right? You're going to become sensitive to lies. You're going to pick up on that shit. After a while, you're going to stop falling for it, and you're going to pick up on it. And then you go, oh, you know what? Now I can start sensing lies from a mile away.
Right.
And you become sensitive to that things, which changes your behavior. Right. So that behavior was then conditioned by those who were lying to you for all those years. So, but this is coming from multiple angles of guys who are manipulative, who are needy, who are insecure, who are vengeful, who are violent, right? Yes. All the detracting qualities of a man, right? Those behaviors and those qualities will shape the women around him and the women that he deals with. And so these women, you do this time and time and time again over many years. Yeah, they're gonna have certain armor. They're gonna have certain walls, right? And if you're an average dude, that's when you're gonna find the complaining. All these women ain't shit out here,
right?
Right? They're gonna meet that resistance, and to Lucario's point, that disinterest, because they've seen you again and again and again. Right? Versus a man who knows what he's about. He has his state established. He understands what his principles are. He knows why he is even here. He can penetrate through that, right? Because he's not there for her. He's not there to get her, right? He's creating an invitation. Said, hey, you can come on over into my state. If you like it here, you can stay. Here's the benefits. Here's the rewards. Here's the rules. Here's the punishments, right? And it's like, hey, if you want to stick around, awesome. I love that. You'll be treated well. If you don't, that's cool. I understand, right? Not everyone is cut out for everybody.
Right. Exactly. And real quick, I just want to ask them real quick. That's one more thing that you need to understand, caller, that the women that can't see, there's women that don't want to see your leadership because of whatever reason, and there's also women that can't see your leadership, and it's sad that they've been tainted by weak men, but at the same time, that also means that because they've been tainted, their compatibility with you may be lower, and you have to let them go. This is why it's a numbers game. This is why you have to talk to women. But Zach, go ahead.
No, and this is why some women have more of a wall up than other women.
Right.
But also, there's a thing, and I never heard of it until I came to YouTube, about how women shit test guys. If you find yourself being shit tested a lot, it's probably because there's inconsistencies with your presentation. Right. So a woman doesn't really know who you are. So the shit test is to figure out, Are you a bitch ass dude, or are you a man? And your response to that test will tell her, it's kind of like with gold. You buy it to make sure if it's real, that type of shit. Is it fool's gold or is it real gold? Okay, there are certain men who just command respect by their presence. So women already know out the gate, this is not a guy I should play with. Okay, then there are other guys where she know you play though. Like she know you play all day. Like I'm gonna play with him. She already know. There's nothing you can do or say to change her mind. Then there are other guys where she's uncertain about you because you say one thing, you do another, or you do this and you say another, and she's kind of confused as to who you really are.
Right.
So what she'll do is she'll purposely say and or do things to test your response to him, and your response will tell her, okay, he's the bitch that I thought he was. Or there's hope. I think I might have found a guy who's a fucking man. It's been a minute. This is why, Miles, when you talk about when you give testimonials and you talk about how when you set up dates and you got everything figured out, and the woman is like, thank God, I'm happy because I'm not used to this. Because when a man finally shows up on the scene, a real man, that's why real masculine men don't have problems with women.
Right.
Because women are craving masculinity. They are craving a dominant, assertive, authoritative man who is transparent and he knows what the fuck he's doing. And he actually has boundaries, standards, and principles for her to adhere to. Now, when she comes into a situation, she knows the assignment. The problem with too many guys, she don't know what to do. You're just as chaotic as her. You're just as indecisive as her. You're just as inconsistent as her. So she's like, damn, I might as well be a fucking bisexual chick and fuck with bitches. Because that's what I got. Yeah, I got it, man.
Facts.
Top of the hammer.
Caller.
Zag in Atlanta, that's what's happening.
Yeah.
Zag in Atlanta, that's what's happening. So, I mean, you're right about that.
Yeah, man. You have anything else to say, caller, man? And appreciate you for the questions, man, because, we went off, man. Those are some good questions, bro.
Yeah. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I always got to bring, some good questions to y'all. But yeah, man, that's it pretty much. I hit you and Lucario. When y'all doing the show? Y'all doing the show today or tomorrow?
Lucario and our next show is on Monday, bro. And then we got the Real Game No Theory show tomorrow.
All right, cool. I call in on Monday, man. I got something for y'all, man. Something happened to me yesterday.
Okay.
Man, I really want to speak on it.
Okay, all right. And keep in mind that on Monday, we moved our Monday show to 12:15. So noontime is our Monday show now. All right, brother?
All right,
man. Take it easy. Have a good day. Hey, and 234, I saw you calling in. I tried to merge the call, bro. I tried to answer your call. But if you under the sound of my voice right now, call back 234. Please call back, man. But other than that, guys, call in 919-647-9392. Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm telling you, the weakness the weakness in men is not good for anyone. It's not good for anyone. We got to be strong out here. But 234, appreciate you for calling back, man. You on live with the Manhood is a Skill Set show with K Zaggin, J Roman, Mr. Justin, and Miles. What's going on, man? Name, age, and city. What's up?
It's E from last night, 30 to 30, women.
E, all right, 30. All right, what's going on, man? What's on your mind?
Well, how do you have better conversations like with women? Because I have like trouble, like in terms of conversations.
Okay.
I want to get better at it. I mean, obviously you talk to more women.
Yeah.
But it feels like some women I can do it, but some women it's just like weird and it's just not. I don't feel right. I don't know.
Well, you understand that. You understand that every woman is not gonna be able to relate to you verbally, right? You understand that, right?
Yeah, I get that.
Okay, all right. Well, as long as you understand that. But Mr. Justin, I know you like to be on that. I know you like to do the verbals and stuff, man. What do you got for him, Mr. Justin?
Well, the first thing that came into my mind was, why do you want to in the first place?
Ooh, good question.
I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but I'm wondering, what is your reasoning behind it in the first place? Because that will change everything. That is your motivation. So if your motivation is for validation, is to keep her interest around so that you can have access to her. If any of your motivation is coming from a place of need or acceptance or validation, it doesn't matter. It's tainted whatever it is that you're talking about.
Right. But But
So why is it? Are you wanting to have better conversations? If you want to have better conversations, just talk about the things you're interested in. You can always have a good conversation if you're talking about things you like.
That's a fact.
I got you. Yeah.
Right.
It doesn't make sense.
Carlo, let me ask you a question. And I need for you to be honest. Do you ever find yourself overthinking the shit that you want to say because you're worried about how the woman might take it?
Yeah. I think yes.
I know you do. Because here's the thing. Hold on. Let me stop you. And I'm gonna give you the floor. Let me say this. When you approach a woman, just be you. It doesn't matter the woman's demeanor or her disposition or what the fuck she got going on. Just show up and be you.
Exactly.
And here's the thing with compatibility. And this is where guys fuck up.
Hold on, real quick, Zach. Real quick. 323. Please put your phone on mute while you're moving around in the background. Sorry, Zach.
No, you're good. This is where guys fuck up at, right? Again, when we talk about compatibility, I need guys to understand something. When you go out in the world and you're dealing with these women, you need to make sure that the women are compatible with you and your lifestyle. The problem with you guys, you're so worried about whether or not you're compatible with the woman, which is why you tap dance, which is why you walk on eggshells, which is why you temper your words and you watch what you say because you want to be a part of what she got going on so bad that you don't want to fuck up a situation with her.
Right.
She needs to be worried about fucking up a situation with you.
Right.
It's a mindset shift. Change your mindset because if you're the type of guy where you have a foundation rooted in manhood and masculinity, you have your standards, your principles, and your boundaries. When you're dealing with women, you want to make sure that women don't upset that balance, that they go with the flow of it, not against the grain of it. The only way you can find that out is to show up and be you at all times. And then the response you get will tell you, yeah, you know what, I'm going to bring her aboard. Oh, no, baby girl, you're going to stay right there. I'm going to leave you where you stand. And then you step.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But there's times where I am being myself and it still doesn't, work.
That's not about it work. See, stop right there. See, goddamn it, I got to get you. Stop it. See, that's the problem. Yeah. It's not about it. It's always working because you get rid of the bitches that they shouldn't be there, and the ones that should be there stay.
Hold on.
Always working.
Hold on, caller. When you say it doesn't work, what exactly do you mean? Please express yourself.
Like I would be very, just very, who I am. We
got the no. Listen. We got that part. We got the part where you say you were being yourself. I'm trying to get to the part where you said it doesn't work. Please explain what you mean when you say it doesn't work.
Sometimes it doesn't get further. Like it doesn't.
What do you? Okay, you want something to happen. What doesn't happen that you want to happen when you say it doesn't work?
Either sex or relationship. If I want that in that certain type of one.
Okay. All right.
Go ahead. So you're making it about her. That's kind of what I suspected. I wanted to keep it as a question, and I don't want to interject what I thought and what I knew it was. But your answer confirms what I had already known. But that is, you're making it about them. Okay. And so I will pose a challenge to you, right? And anyone listening to this can do this. And that is, if the next time you're talking with a woman that you just met, okay, or that you're, maybe going out on like a second date or whatever, don't ask her any questions. Ask 0 questions. It's going to be really challenging. All right. But this will help get you in the right kind of mindset to just be yourself. Because if you're being yourself, you're not going to be asking questions. You're just going to be talking about what you want to talk about. You're going to be doing the things you want to do, which is not a question. Question is your it's a receiving sort of thing. It's an opening sort of thing. And not asking questions is just a forward moving sort of thing. Right. So, and a lot of times guys will ask questions to kind of smooth things out and make it easier for them, right? It makes things more comfortable because it puts you off the hot plate, right? By asking a question, you're shifting the attention onto them, and now the light is on them. The spotlight is on them to answer. So if you're constantly asking questions, it takes the light off of you, and you really want the light to be on you. So stop asking questions.
Exactly.
So I should just say statements almost.
Yeah, make statements and give her instructions.
Yeah.
Give her instructions. Tell her what you want to do. But see, again, you gotta have a vision. You gotta have a plan for what you actually want to do on a date. You understand? And shout out to Donovan Sharp, because I kind of got this from him, but he talks about having a series of places to take a woman to on a date. Like, you meet her at one spot, and then of another cool spot, and then you might have one drink here, and then you just grab her by the hand and say, come with me, and then y'all take a walk to the other spot, and then she see, if different places with scenery or whatever it is, or let's just say you get into what you're interested in, because Mr. Justin made a great point about you talking and dealing with things that you're interested in, right? Let's just say you're interested in anime. Let's just say you're interested in movies. Let's just say you're interested in memorabilia, trivia, whatever the hell it is. The fact is, you can literally take her to a couple of places that have to do with your interests. So you're letting her get to know who you are, and you're not worried about asking questions to try to. A lot of guys are trying to build rapport. A lot of guys are trying to, gain a woman's confidence, when it's really all about give her the chance to get to know you, and then she can figure out if she's compatible with you or not. You get what I'm saying? Because if a woman is willing to follow you from location 1 to location 2 to location 3, she's possibly willing to follow you to the ultimate location, which is the one you want, to the bedroom. You get what I'm saying? But you have to be willing to, instead of ask questions, give her instructions and see how willing she is to listen to you.
Let me add this, J. Roman. I'm gonna pass it to you. Let me add this, caller. There's a Facebook post that I posted. There's this YouTuber. Her name is Marnie the Wing Girl, right? She had a quote. See, this is her quote. Stop focusing on what she's thinking about you and whether or not you're making a good impression on her. You're not a magician. You're not there to impress her. This is a woman saying that. Okay, so I think the problem with a lot of you guys, when you go out in the world, you're looking for a woman to bring in. Stop looking for a woman to bring in. Go out there and meet women, and only in the women that, number one, genuinely want to be there, but also, what the fuck is going on in the background? What you niggas doing?
That's how I'm trying to get them to mute their phones. Yeah.
So y'all stop looking to try and invite a woman in, and only deal with women that are worthy of the invitation.
Yeah.
The fact that y'all are worried about inviting a woman in, you're like, I'm gonna make it easy for her. I'm not gonna give her. I'm not gonna put her through the paces. I'm not gonna say and or do anything where I can see whether or not she's worthy of the time and attention I'm giving. I'm just gonna give it.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
You just don't give a fuck. Almost.
Yeah. You really shouldn't give a fuck, bro. Respectfully, you shouldn't give a fuck. But Jay, you got something?
Yeah. You ever been around a group of friends and you thought something was funny, but they didn't think it was funny at all, but you still laugh like it was the funniest thing to you?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so you didn't care not one bit what they thought about the joke or whatever happened. You just laughed and had a good laugh.
I will say that sometimes,
yeah, but that's how you should approach it, though. It doesn't matter exactly what she thinks. If you're having a good time, expressing yourself, knowing yourself, excited about something. But I will advise you to get a little more substance in whatever you are into.
Right.
It's very hard to express something when you're just surface level with whatever you say you are into. Like I'm into NASCAR, but you don't know any of the drivers, you don't know the tracks, you don't know what type of cars, how the cars are built. You don't have anything really interesting in it to say, but you just watch it on Saturdays or Sundays. Right? So that conversation that you're going to be expressing about what you are into is not going to be very deep. It's not going to be very interesting because you didn't put the time to find the interesting things into it. Right. So, you gotta, if you are really into something, be into it and be able to express it. I like movies. I really enjoy movies. I go to the movies by myself. I had a date where we went and saw 3 movies at one time. We snuck into one and just kept sneaking into movies. Oh, you know what? I want to see that. And that's because that's what I wanted to do that day. Because on that day that I had off, I had a couple of movies I haven't seen that I wanted to see. Now, I've done this several different times.
I used to do that shit when I was, years ago in Manhattan. I would go to the giant Metroplex movie theater in Union Square, and I'd pay for the one ticket. Right? I'd pay for the one ticket, go in to see the one movie, and then the place is so massive, and they got the stairwells. Just wait a few minutes, go down the stairs, go to this other theater. Boom, you get I watched back-to-back films
back in the day.
that shit.
Back in the day, started putting the numbers on the seats and shit, making you
yeah. But you can still do it now.
It was before that.
So if you find a seat, somebody says that's my seat, okay, you just move to a different seat. So my thing is, I've taken several ladies on a date like that. One of them told me at the end of the date that she didn't like that because we didn't really get a chance to talk.
Right.
I didn't care because I liked it. I enjoyed the movie. I ate my popcorn. I had a good time. Others, they had an exciting time. They snuck in. Oh, I never snuck in before, but it didn't really matter. This is what I was doing, and I enjoyed it.
Right.
The thing is, and I can tell you right now, the way you kind of posed the question was kind of ingenuine to the panel, because you asked one thing just about talking to women, then really it was about establishing something. So it's really about more. And my thing is that if it's about more, you have to be honest with yourself, what you want, and be able to express it and just enjoy it all on your own.
Exactly. All right, caller. Other than that, man, get some coaching. All right, brother.
Yep.
All right, man. Thanks for calling in today. Appreciate you. All right. So we got 323. You're on live on the Manhood is a Skill Set show with Kay Zagan, Jay Roman, Mr. Justin, and Miles. Name, age, city. How can we help you?
Hi, Miles. My name is Luciano. I'm 29, and I'm in Los Angeles.
All right, Luciano.
Nice 29. To finally speak to you guys.
Hey, appreciate you, man. Thanks for calling in, man. All right. So what is on your mind today?
I just have a question. So for me, the type of women, all right, let me just go to the question.
Please.
How can I spot the middle ground type of female? I don't judge women for being promiscuous, but I don't know how to spot that type of female when I'm talking to her. Is she the overly laughing, enjoying the conversation with me, or is she the shy one?
Middle grounds.
Yeah. Caller, please. Okay, so thank you for the question. Now let's get some context. What do you consider to be a middle ground female, and what grounds are we talking that this is the middle? What are we talking about? Please tell us.
Okay, the middle ground for me is the female that, they're all promiscuous, but I want the one that's like not overly promiscuous, just the middle ground,
So you want her to know how to slop it up right, but only had two partners?
No. Maybe like four a week, 4 different dudes a week.
Are we talking about? So basically, you one of these?
I'm not understanding it.
Wait, hold on. You one of these body count guys, caller? Is that what we're talking about? A body count situation?
No, bro, no. Because look, I'll tell you this. I am ignorant on how they truly like. How many, like, what is a lot for a female, what is not.
Okay, so what do you mean by middle ground, bro? You have to know what you're talking about. You have to know what you're talking about in order.
Body count.
So that's what we're talking about. Body count. We're talking about body count, or we talking about body count? Can we be honest?
Sure, body count. Let's call it body count.
Okay, first of all, your lack of concrete expression, that lets me know that you're gonna have trouble with women regardless. You understand what I'm saying? Like the fact that you can't just clearly express yourself, that's your first that's something that you need to work on. That's something that you need to get coaching.
And making up weird ass terms to describe it.
The question first before instead of explaining how.
Caller. I got you. Let me help you out. Okay.
Sure.
This goes in line with what I was talking about earlier with standards, boundaries, and principles. Like, I'll use myself as an example. So, caller, I don't date party girls. Okay, it's girls who drink, hang out, and do drugs. I don't date those type of chicks. Right? A lot of guys will think those women are promiscuous. It doesn't matter to me whether they are or aren't. I don't give a fuck. Their lifestyle is not conducive to my own. So I'm not going to date those women. this is what I would tell you and any other guy that are worried about a woman's promiscuity and her sexual past and all that goofy shit. If you know the type of lifestyle you love to live, right? You have a certain type of way that you live. Only invite women in who go with the flow of that.
Right.
So let's say for the sake of argument, you go to church every Wednesday and Sunday, and that's a big deal to you. Meet women who share your same belief system.
Right.
Now, it doesn't mean that they don't have a high body count. You know what I'm saying? Because they still can, but at the same time, you want a woman, when she goes out in the world and she's representing you, you want her to represent you right. So she has to share your belief system in the way that you live your life. Guys are too worried about, see, when they talk about body count, you can't quantify that, meaning you'll never know. You will never know what she's been doing, who she's been doing it with, how many, you'll never know that. All you can focus on is the here and now. Does she live her life right now in the present moment with me? That works for me. Y'all got it.
Yeah, I still didn't understand what I just still didn't understand what you mean by the middle ground thing.
Because I'm a critical motherfucker. I do kind of overthink shit. The body count bullshit is kind of like overthinking shit because in the end it doesn't really matter anyway.
Well, that's what you tell yourself, anyways.
What's the middle ground, though? Like, what's the middle? I'm having an issue with the middle ground thing you're saying, because it sounds like you want a skilled person, but you don't want her to have a lot of partners, or like, what do you want from her exactly?
All right. No, because I'll explain.
Quickly though. Quickly.
So I guess I do like the innocent looking type of female, and that seems like to me she's less promiscuous. She may or may not.
So you're talking. So you like a woman who's modestly.
Yeah.
Modestly, I was gonna say moderate. Who dresses modestly. So you're looking for a woman who dresses modestly. That still cannot dictate how many bodies she got. She still could be a fucking slut behind closed doors who does everything.
Those could be the biggest sluts.
Those could be.
Yeah. Go ahead and give.
Okay,
go
so
ahead.
Give us another adjective of the type of woman that you want.
The type of woman, like, as long as she's like cool and collected with me and follows program. I had a girl like that recently doing that. She was very quiet type.
What's your program though? What's your program? Do you actually have a friggin' program? Y'all dudes talk about a program, but do you actually have one? Do you have any instructions for a woman to follow?
Yeah, I have a look. It's not like the complete. It's probably like 75.
Wait, hold on, real quick, Carl. What y'all doing in the background? You know, you're putting an alternator in the car. What's going on with y'all in the background?
I'm watching in my kitchen. I'll sit down.
It's a lot of fucking noise and shit. Go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead, caller. Caller.
So,
I don't think you got an issue.
A rundown of my protocol, if that would help.
Okay, go ahead.
Her name is basically, I give her a nickname. Her name is Secret. And then I let her know whenever she wants to come over to let me know ahead of time. And when she opens the door.
Wait. Hold. How the hell is it your program when she's letting you know when she wants to come over?
Yeah, that's no program if it starts with her.
I see.
That is not a program.
You know what I'm saying?
Look, caller. Here's the problem, and I'm gonna pass it. I'm gonna be brief, gentlemen, because I know
we couldn't even get past the first part of his fucking program. We couldn't get past it.
I'm gonna say this saying that I like to say: masculine men influence women. Males are influenced by women.
Nice.
Too many of you guys are influenced by what the woman may or may not have done before you. You're influenced by that. And what happens is how you interact with her comes out. Okay, the judgmental, the being ultra critical of her, right? So what happens is, like caller, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna pass it to my bros here. There was this guy, I did a video talking about this, where this guy, he having sexual relations with this woman he was dealing with. And he loved the sex. It was super freaky. She was nasty. All of that. He loved it all. So one of his female co-workers asked him, do you see a future for you and her as far as a relationship? He said, no, she's too freaky.
Oh, God.
So at some point, and then this is what you guys think. Y'all got to remember, like, see, a lot of guys think the freakier the woman is, the more dick she's had in her life. If you had a woman who was in a 10-year relationship with the same guy, and she learned everything from him, mostly, you know what I'm saying? You have to understand that could happen, that all her freakiness came from this guy who turned her out.
Right.
But guys automatically assume it was a bunch of guys. And let me tell you how I know it's not a bunch of guys. Because most guys suck in bed. Most guys are lame with no fucking creativity. They don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And women will tell you most guys suck. This is why you got to stop being worried about. Matter of fact, if a chick had a lot of guys, you should be worried about they almost suck because you ain't with none of them now.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you should look at it.
What they're worried about is being put in the same category.
Yeah.
Plus, the first two things you mentioned about your program had nothing to do with her needing to be innocent looking.
Yeah.
So where does that come to play at in this program?
The only reason the only reason I had her in that type of program where I would have her initially come over to my start it off.
No. Hold on.
Sort of like
you said she had to look innocent looking. Right?
Yeah, I like the innocent. She may not be. That's fine.
Okay.
All right, caller, get back to your question, though. Get back to your...
Yeah. I don't think he has an issue here.
Can you repeat that again?
No, I said get back to your overall question.
No, the question. Look, you guys kind of made me not care about the question no more because it did kind of stem from the body count part.
Yeah, just ask the question, bro. Just go ahead. Just ask the question again, please.
Ask the question again.
It's going to help somebody else out.
I wanted to see what, based off your guys' experience, is like the type of girl that's kind of extroverted, like having fun with my conversation, good time. Is she the more promiscuous type, or is it the more quiet type girl?
You see.
Yeah, the bottom line is this: the bottom line is this. The bottom line is you will never know. So what you need to focus on is how she relates to you. Just focus on how she relates to you. You don't need to worry about how she related to men in the past necessarily. You just need to focus on how she relates to you. Now, when you have a program, when you know exactly who you are and what you want from a woman and what you want from your relationships, just focus solely on that and you'll be just fine. Now, and here's why you'll be just fine. Because if you're focused on what you want and what you require from a woman, once she's giving that to you, then you'll realize that you can move forward with her. Right. But at the same time, when you're focused and you realize that she's not giving that to you, you can charge her to the game, meaning you can stop dealing with her. Do you understand that? So the bottom line is for you to be focused on who you are, what you want, and if she's giving it to you. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Call her.
How old are you again?
I'm 29.
So you do realize that 29, I'm quite sure it seems like you have some experience that even if they look innocent, they definitely might not be.
Right.
Right. Yeah. and then you've seen some promiscuous looking ones that wasn't so promiscuous as you thought, right?
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Yo, everybody knows that the church girl is the biggest freak.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the reason why that is because they've been sexually repressed. They've been kept in the house. This is why you have a lot of chicks that didn't have a lot of sex in high school, or maybe they were even virgins. Let them get to a traditional 4-year college and see what the fuck happens.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah. They can all get turned the fuck out.
This real question though.
All right. So caller, what I want you to do is do some research, not just one web hit, a number of web hits, okay, around the concept of the Madonna whore complex. This is part of your problem. You see women in one way or another way. She's either a good girl or she's a whore. right? She's a church girl or she's a demon. Women aren't like that. Women are just women, right? And when you're stuck with this split, this bifurcated view of women, it ultimately hampers how you can interact with them because you're coming at it from a place of judgment, right? And check this out. I tell my guys this all the time. What you believe is what you perceive. Okay. So this has to do with a belief structure, and therefore this is what you are seeing. This is what you're perceiving. So you have to get a greater understanding of the psychological structure that you have been imbued with over years, right? And it's very common. You're not special, right? The Madonna horror complex within men is extremely
most
common,
guys,
right? And to my friend Coach Brody, he said women also have a gentleman gigolo complex, right? He's the good boy or the bad boy, right? It's not like that, right? Men with a capital M, they're in their own category, their own class, right? And women, they're if you got to just break away from this viewpoint, and then you'll really be able to see who and what they actually are.
Right. And shout out to Coach Justin, because he made me go look up the word bifurcated, which means to be split in two, like a fork or branches, or divided into like a branch or a fork. So appreciate you for adding another word to my lexicon. Appreciate that.
All right.
Let me say this to the caller and to Coach Justin's point, or Mr. Justin's point. There is, y'all keep looking at stuff in extremes. There's the bad girl, the good girl. Women are both. They're comprised of both. So imagine a woman with a little devil on her shoulder, a little angel on her shoulder. Depending on the guy that she runs into, that determines which one wins out.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? The angel or the little devil. And this is what I would tell you this. For all you men that are judgmental, once a woman realizes you're judgmental, she is going to give you what you came for. Okay? You came for a good girl. She's going to show you that. Because she knows if she shows you the opposite of that, you're going to judge her, and whatever it is she wants from you, she won't get. Right. Okay, whether it's dates, whether it's a relationship, whatever it is. And here's the problem, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to pass it to you guys. There's a Facebook post where this girl, she has a boyfriend, but she only has sex with him like once or twice a month. But she's cheating on him. And the reason why she's doing that is because the way he came at her, he made her feel like he thinks I'm perfect. He thinks I'm this angel, this virtuous woman, and I'm a sexual being. So I can't fuck him because it's going to mess up the view that he has of me. But I like to fuck, so I cheat with the guy that I like to fuck. But I don't care if he thinks I'm a slut or not. I care what my boyfriend thinks because of how he feels about me, and I feel comfortable with him feeling that I'm such a good girl, although I'm really not. I'm comprised of both. So I'm going to pick and choose which one of myself that I show which man, depending on what I want from that man. From one man, I want him to look at me like his angelic figure. So I'm going to give him that part. The other guy, I'm fucking him multiple times a week while I'm only fucking my boyfriend once or twice a month. Understand that?
Crazy. All right, caller. You got that, caller?
Yeah, I got that. I appreciate you guys.
I appreciate the call, brother. And you take care, man. All right, and then we got this call here. We got 3727. You are on live. The Manhood is a Skill Set show with K Zaggin, Mr. Justin, J Roman, Miles. Name, age, city. How can we help you? 372.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you, man. What's up, man? Name, age, and city, man. What's up?
Yeah, so my name's Michael. I'm 29. I'm from London. How are all of you guys? And I also donated.
All right. Hey, appreciate you, man. Mike from London, 29. Okay. What's going on with you, brother? What's going on? What's on your mind, man? Thanks for calling from London, man. We appreciate you, man. What's going on?
So I went on a date yesterday, and it was going well as I thought. And I got to the point where she was on top of me, kissing me. It was hot and heavy touching. And then all of a sudden she stops. She goes to the bathroom with her phone, and she comes back, and her whole demeanor changes. And it's just like she's a completely different woman. So just completely screws it all up. But before she was saying she lives close to the bar that we were at.
All right. So all right. Where is that? Okay. So what's your question, bro?
I've had usually I get girls just say no, like straight away. But when it's
what is your question? What is your question? Just
that was the question.
Let me.
Is it a no from here?
Just for clarification, y'all were making out, getting all hot and heavy, and she abruptly just took her phone and got up.
And you said
the restroom.
This was at a club. Where was this? Where was this now?
It was a bar.
Okay.
It was a bar. Let me ask you a question. Did she feel in your genitalia area? Did she touch your Johnson at all?
Yes, she was.
Okay, and then so when she this is important. When she abruptly got up, was it right after she manhandled your manhood?
No, it's in. No, it was going on for some minutes, and then she just stopped and then got up.
Okay, did she say anything? Did she give you any verbals about what she was feeling up on? Did she say anything to you about it?
Yeah, she was saying how she likes how it feels.
Okay.
In my ear.
Caller.
It might not be what I thought it was. Then.
Caller. Listen. What was your plan for this woman?
I was gonna try to take her back to mine or hers.
Okay. What the fuck were you waiting for? She's already feeling on your dick. She's already sitting on top of you, kissing you, doing. How long is it gonna take for you to say, "Hey, let's go back to my place"? What were you waiting for?
No, I did. I did say it's getting pretty hot. We should go back to my place.
Okay, and then what happened?
And then she started going. She was going a bit more, and then she got up, went to the toilet. Her whole demeanor changed.
No. When you said get up, you said it's getting hot. Let's go to my place. That was your time to stand up, take her by the hand, and start motivating to your place.
Yeah.
Okay, so why did you not do that?
We just still were in the moment, basically. And then this was literally seconds after. That's when she then stopped.
So listen. Women are influenced by many things. You know what? A lot of times, women are like a child chasing a butterfly through a field. You understand? And at the end of the field, there's a ledge. And you know what men are? Men stand at the edge and stop them from falling over. That's what men do. You understand? So if you had a plan, if you wanted to get this woman back to your crib, it was your responsibility. After literally only you don't need to be making out for that many minutes, bro. You could do it after 30 to 45 seconds, maybe a minute. If it's really that hot and heavy, if she's feeling on your dick, like all of this and all of that, it's time for you to be like, yo, it's time to go. Take her by the hand and start moving. Start moving. Now, what happened with you is you were in the moment, as you say, and then you let somebody call her attention away from you. She went to the bathroom, got told something else, and then the butterfly went in another fucking direction. She was following the butterfly, bro. Women don't have as much focus as you think. A lot of you guys, the reason why you get so fucked up is because you think men and women are equal. You thinking, well, she's feeling on my joint. She's kissing me. She's all on top of me. She's definitely gonna fuck me tonight because I definitely want to fuck her tonight. So you're sitting there waiting for her to take the lead when you should have been the one to be like, look, this bitch is ready now. We got to get the fuck up out of here before one of her cock blocking ass friends change her mind, which is pretty much what happened based on what you said.
Yeah. Women typically have a little more willpower than men. They can be wet, dripping wet, and they won't do it. Okay, men, when we hard as a rock, if a chick don't want to do it, we're like, this bitch on, playing with me. Right, but chicks, they can abruptly stop. So when she came back, and I'm gonna pass. I know y'all gotta get ready to go. And when Justin and Miles bounced, the show was over. But when she came back, what did she say to you?
So I was just like, so let's get out of it. And then she was just like, oh, actually, I don't really feel like it. Just all of a sudden.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Caller, I got a question for you. Have you ever owned a cat in your life?
I haven't owned a cat, but many of my friends do have cats.
Okay, so you've lived with cats before.
So what's up?
You've lived with cats before.
Yeah.
Okay. And so imagine the cat has sat on your lap at some point, correct?
Yeah.
And then the cat has gotten up and walked away, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Did you care?
No.
Okay, so what are you calling for?
Yeah. What's the real issue here?
It was mainly just advice on how to just prevent it. But Mars, you've already answered the question.
Okay.
Prevent it because you care too much about the cat sitting on your lap.
Yeah, you had everything you wanted. It was up to you to be the man, take leadership, and before anybody else could take her attention, and your influence was there, bro. Everything was there. You just didn't pull the trigger. You waited too long. You understand? That's really all it is, bro.
Well, it was a really dope analogy because it's literally referring to pussy.
Exactly. Yeah. Right.
A pussy cat and a chick. You know what I'm saying? So both of them left you.
Exactly.
Caller, I'm going to say this.
Yeah.
What you could have did then, you could have just simply gave her your number. Hey, when you're ready to make something happen, hit me up.
Right. That's
your problem was, and the reason why you're calling to Mr. Justin's point is you were too attached to the outcome. You were too attached to it. There's nothing wrong with feeling like, damn, man, I almost had it, and feeling like I really wanted to hit that. But your next response would be, oh well, just like that. Oh well. Easy come, easy go. It happens when you deal with enough women, bro, it's gonna happen.
Exactly. And caller, that's the best thing you could do. Just be like, hey, take out your phone, take my number. If you change your mind, you know where I'm at. That's it. You see what I'm saying? That's it.
Cool.
All right, caller.
All right. Well, yeah. Thanks. Have a good evening.
Hey, man. Thanks for the call all the way from London, man. You be safe out there, brother.
Brush your teeth. Hit some mouthwash. You just kissed a stranger.
Yeah, brush your teeth, brother. You just kissed a stranger. Oh man, that's funny. All right, man, guys, I gotta kind of get up out of here, guys. I appreciate y'all, man. K-Zag, you already know what it is, man. J. Roman, Mr. Justin, man, I appreciate y'all being on the show. MasculineIdentityMembership.com, BadBoyMembership.com. Make sure you get your tickets for the Game Kings 2 seminar April 2nd in NYC. One of the guest speakers will be K-Zagging, man. So make sure y'all get y'all tickets, man. And it's your boy Miles Cunningham. I appreciate y'all, and I'm out of here.
Wow. All right, and on that note, hit the like button on the way out. Justin, J. Roman, y'all got anything y'all want to add before we bounce?
No, just if you got any questions for me, just hit me up on Instagram. It's Mr. Justin_X.
There we go. J. Roman.
Always a pleasure to be in here. Appreciate it. Next time I'll have more to give to the audience. So that's about it. I'll have some things set up for some shows and everything like that. So
there we go. Hit that like button on the way out. We're going to holler at y'all. Peace.